Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Greg. This is Lars, Grace, Madeline, and our topic is designer babies. So, to dig deeper into our topic, we would like to offer a research question, which would be to what extent to what extent should genetic engineering technologies be used to alter human reproduction? And our group came up with a solution, which says the genetic engineering technology should only be limited to preventing diseases, and fertility clinics should be required to withhold any information about other traits that should alter aspects of human life. So, the first topic of discussion would be the effect science has on designer babies. So, CRISPR-Cas9 is a technology which would be used to modify the genes of an organism, and along with CRISPR-Cas9 technology comes IVF, which is in vitro fertilization. Both these technologies have been mentioned before, and they both cure biological problems like hepatitis A and B, blood pressure, and cholesterol. So, lastly, we believe that CRISPR-Cas9 and other gene editing technologies has tremendous power, and we should only diseases should be cured with this. And there's been many misuses of technology, like there have been a recent study by the Chinese scientists who have taken this to a whole new level by illegally injecting a person's genes from who has a person who has a better gene, and without any conversation with other countries, this power has been used. And now I would like to hear you.
The effect embryo selection has on the role of parents must also be considered in our decision. The ability to choose the characteristics of a child that child is born with gives parents profound power and a new role. Parents may feel an obligation to the future child and to society to screen embryos given the availability of the technology. Resentment towards couples opting towards traditional reproduction methods may persist, especially in countries where healthcare is paid for socially, as they leave the risk of allowing genetic disease to occur in the next generation. If parents are given the option to choose the physical characteristics, they may come to treat their children as commodities rather than a gift of unceasing love regardless of the outcome of the child, according to Clayton Knapp, award-winning author of many works focusing on the genetic diseases plaguing our society. Additionally, some parents may feel overwhelmed with excessive power and choices. Parents could even grow to regret the characteristics they chose, because if they chose intelligence, raising an extremely bright child is difficult and exhausting, since they are always exploring and challenging everything, according to Adrienne Ram, the mother of a child born into the first generation of designer babies. Selecting embryos without genetic diseases is a positive for society, as the burden is lifted on the healthcare system. However, choosing characteristics such as intelligence, eye and hair color leaves parents with far too much power over their child and the future of the gene pool.
So, when dealing with genetically engineered babies, it is important to understand the perspective of the children that are affected. When going through the process of in vitro fertilization, a decent amount of eggs must be taken and fertilized to screen for traits. When screening for traits, the parents have a choice to pick which embryo they want. What happens to the rest of the embryos then? They're disposed of, since they were not selected by the parents. The parents choose which baby they like best and let the rest of them cease. The loss of potential life is tremendous, as all the unborn babies that were not chosen never get the chance to join the living world. In the life of a genetically engineered human, the way they look, act, and feel is partially due to the parents' decision to make them the way they are. They were selected to have certain traits, and because of their parents, they have to live with those traits whether they like it or not. As biomedical ethicist Ronald Green of Dartmouth explains, we will see gene editing and reproductive technologies for enhancement drastically increase in usage in the next 40 to 50 years. From blonde hair and blue eyes to improved athletic abilities to enhanced reading skill. Because of this, action should be taken in current day to prevent a future where the technology is protected and every family is genetically designed to be perfect.
Finally, continued unregulated advancement of genetic engineering technology has many negative consequences. For instance, there are numerous health risks for both child and mother. Conception through PGD is more likely to result in multiple pregnancies, which increases the chance of having a premature birth, putting the child at risk of respiratory, gastrointestinal, central nervous, and immune system complications, cerebral palsy, mental retardation, and learning disabilities, as written by Samantha Wang in the Yale Journal of Biology and Medicine. A technology on the path to being used on humans, germline engineering, can have severe consequences if the gene is inserted incorrectly, possibly triggering cancer, or an unpredictable accident, such as what occurred with the Beltsville pig, who suffered severe bone and joint problems. Because of these health risks, unnecessary use of genetic engineering should be limited. Based on an attempt by the Fertility Institute's clinic in 2009, the use of PGD and other technologies to determine physical characteristics is in our near future. This would mean thousands of healthy embryos would be discarded for not having an unimportant trait such as hair or eye color. Cosmetic testing also has the potential to turn people against genetic screening as a whole, delegitimizing the good it does. This can also create skewed ratios of characteristics based on cultural preferences, as shown by the increasing male to female sex ratio in China, upon the normalization of prenatal sex screening.
So when coming to a solution for our problem, we look through I guess a variety of solutions. One would be a complete ban on genetic engineering technologies, and which would end design of babies. This would just remove the whole ethical conversation where design of babies are just disallowed in all facets. Fertility clinics would just not deal with this. And another solution was an allowance for genetic engineering technologies with no restrictions. So it's natural for families to want like a boy or a girl, and with a complete allowance, they're able to do this. And when it comes to infertility, parents are able to get around this obstacle, but they're also able to go forward with going into traits, and this is why we deem this solution not, I guess, just not a good solution.
So our conclusion is that our team holds that genetic engineering technology should be limited to preventing genetic diseases in humans. Fertility clinics should be required to withhold information about other traits that could alter any aspects of the child not regarding the quality of life.
A limitation on our research is that many technologies were very recently developed, and therefore there are limited historical examples of their usage on humans to base our conclusions on.
These are our sources.